Greetings, Rigil Agateiades here, back for some more ranked duels with Ursarctics. This time, we're experimenting some new cards to use in our combo, but as a result, we have a lot more garnets in our deck. A lot of them. But drawing garnets is just a skill issue, so let's not worry about that. The combo we're experimenting today is an extension of the Deep Sea Diva combo. Before, we only used it to get a lot of Poseidras in our hand for tributes and a free Polari on the field. But this time, we're hand-ripping, while putting a baronne on the field. Under 5 summons. The card we're adding is 1 copy of Atlantean Dragoon and 1 Molen Glacier, the Elemental Lord. Molen Glacier is a level 8 sea serpent that summons itself when there are exactly 5 water monsters in the graveyard, and on summon, it provides a very threatening 2-card handrip. While it is random, taking 2 out of 5 cards from the opponent's hand is almost guaranteed to restrict the opponent's options on the next turn, if not straight off removing all of them. We'll get to the combo in the replay, but searching Molen Glacier while fulfilling its condition is extremely easy. Unsurprisingly, it's a Deep Sea Diva 1 card. The best part about the combo is how there's no conflict between it and the Ursarctic strategy at all. Ursarctics don't need their normal summon, and the garnets are mostly level 7 or higher, so they're valid tributes for Ursarctics even if you draw them all. After doing the combo for a baronne and 2 handrips, you just go straight to Ursarctic Septentrion and all the jazz without worrying about being nipped. Now that's a quality of life improvement. To get to Deep Sea Diva, last time we only had 3 divas and 3 synchro overtakes. But with 2 extra garnets in the deck, we need to get some more, otherwise we're running the same number of garnets as starters. So 3 extra copies of Deep Sea Araya. While it takes a water in the grave, Ursarctics can easily provide that. We can also run 1 less copy of Poseidra since we have the Dragoon, and we're good to go with 9 starters and 5 garnets. That's not including the Ursarctic ones. Well, the baronne in 5 alone justifies for that, so just don't draw the garnets. So the combo. All you need to start is a normal summon Deep Sea Diva to summon good old Neptibus from the deck. Activate Neptibus, send the Atlantean Dragoon to add Poseidra, and Dragoon will trigger to search Molen Glacier. Next we prepare 5 waters in the grave, and the key is Tatsunoko. This water synchro tuner allows us to synchro with our hand. That plus Poseidra is perfect to make us a baronne in 4, just in time to stop a nib as we hand rip for 2. Now our opponent only has 2 cards left in their hand. Slightly bad news though, we drew 1 too many garnets, so we hard fusion the Ursarctic flagship, which will search us any Ursarctic on the opponent's turn and call it a day. Reminder, you can't do that after synchro overtake. But sadly, since baronne was used, we still die to a single Rigil. Not to worry though, with only 2 cards in their hand, our opponent had no follow-up, and with an Ash ready, even Branded Fusion wouldn't have saved him. Our turn, Molen Glacier skipped our battle phase when it left the field, so we pass. Opponent's turn, he set 1 and pass, back to us and we draw a departure, so the game is set. Pitch the nib that we don't need, grab the Ursatron Alpha to search Radiation, and we can start drawing as many cards as we like. Force out the back row with Megapolar, turns out to be Branded Opening. We simply ash that and it's game. 2 handrip is simply too powerful. Oh yeah, also the baronne. Second Duel, and we demonstrate the strength of Ursarctics, the unrivaled compatibility with Nibiru and Max Seed. We go first, but we get Max Seed, so we have to pass our turn. But we have our own Max Seed for payback, so we'll see how it goes. Departure collects our big bears and we pass to our opponent. Opponent's turn, he turns out to be on Salamangreats, and because he spent his Ash already, our Max Seed goes through. Now we're ready to play on our opponent's turn. He does his Salamangreat combos, completely disregarding our Max C, and that will be your mistake, because we have so many ways to stop you from doing lethal. After some dozen summons, our opponent grabbed his Will of the Salamangreats, and it's about time. We fire off McPolar to get a bear on field, opponent uses Maxi again, and we chain McTannis to give him one less draw in total. Firing Megapolar first would have got him one less draw, but I was being careful with tributes. Also should have chained Megabitis as well, since that would have banished Fire Princess right as it triggers. But doesn't matter, because as we always say, the Salamangreat combo always ends on a Nib token in defense. Opponent runs out of answers, and it's our turn to play with our 13 card hand. We start with Radiation, and then summon McPolar and Ursarctic Alpha. This grabs us Departure, and then Megabitis gets rid of Fire Princess to prevent accidents from happening. Well, not like anything can go wrong from this point on, right? Summoning Megapolar gets rid of Sanctuary as a bonus, go into Polar Star to get Grand Chariot for 2 pops, but then it's payback. Oh well, there's no way we could have gone around that, but what we can do is to come back from the Nib, since we have a gigantic hand. With McTannis and Megatannis' summoning effects remaining, those two gets us into Polar Star again. Use the field spell to replace the tribute for a Septentrion first, and then Megapolar in hand for a Grand Chariot second. Opponent's field gone, now we just have to get lethal. No more bears to summon, but with Synchro Overtake, we prepared 2 tributes, and tribute summon Nib for a game. Final replay, and we go through the nightmare of all decks, Maxi and Ash. An average hand wouldn't make it, but this time our hand is spectacular. Ash their Maxi, and the Neptibus shows us why is the original circular, sending Atlantean Dragoon as cost. That grabs us Molan Glacier, limiting our losses to minimal through the 2 hand traps. With no Ash, we're free to Departure. Grab Ursarctic Alpha and a Big Bear, then we make Polari with the 2 on the field. This is after all the reason why we used them in the first place. That lets us summon Ursarctic Alpha to grab Radiation, and we're set. Make Septentrion, get us a draw, and we have 2 hand traps and 2 Big Bears on our opponent's turn. My mistake, but if we went Polar Star first, we could have drawn an extra card, while floodgating the other half of the extra deck. Opponent's turn, he starts going on the tour around the planets. First Wraiths off, we'll Ash that, as since we don't want to deal with the Fenrir, then we move on to Pelerino. That grabs him Rhino Heart, and he normal summons with the Scream on field. Since he's definitely going to send a fusion, we use our Megabitis here, which will allow us to chain to banish whichever fusion he went for. That's Halfness, and we'll banish that from the grave. He was lucky enough to hit the trap card however, which lets him add a copy of Grief. That's fine, we still have a Maxi. That goes through, and as Grief special summons, that triggers Septentrion, so we could grab Megatannis. Opponent fusions with Shiren into Kiklos as always, but with that, all his fusion effects were used. With no Halfness to send, he goes for a Tier Cash, while popping Septentrion with the field spell. Doesn't get anything good, and we book his Kiklos, taking away the last mill he could use, and that's game. That was the deck. Compared to my usual builds, we sacrificed consistency for the explosiveness of plays, but considering the amount of nibs it stopped, I am more than happy with that. Even if we didn't use Molan Glacier, the Baronne in 4 summons is very much worth it. Just remember to put in the Tatsunoko and enjoy stopping the card you rely on the most. That's it from me today. Latest.